An Unlikely Ally Part 2. They spun around to see a man standing at the edge of a cliff, silhouetted against the dull sky. His clothes were tattered, but the air around him exuded authority. It was a figure from history, the very same man who had been exiled to St. Helena. Napoleon Bonaparte, Mr. Fiero said, recognizing the man immediately. Napoleon stepped forward, his face weathered, but his eyes still burning with the fire of a man who had once ruled the world. "I know who you are," he said with a nod, surveying the two travelers with a mix of curiosity and wariness. "Time has a way of playing tricks on men, but it seems I have a new audience for my last days. Come, I have much to discuss." The three of them walked to Longwood House, Napoleon's place of exile. As they entered, Napoleon gestured to a chair and sat across from them. The room was sparse, furnished with little more than the necessities. Napoleon poured a drink from a nearby bottle and leaned back, staring into the distance. "So, Father Time," Napoleon began, "he is the one who cast you here, yes?" Mr. Fiero nodded. "He controls time itself, and he's taken something very important from us, the Keystone device. Without it, we cannot travel through time." Napoleon's eyes sharpened. "And you wish to retrieve it?" Lady Jane raised an eyebrow. "You know how to get it back?" Napoleon's lips twisted into a smile. "I've spent many years observing. You think you can break free from Father Time's grasp, but you are not the first to challenge him. It is not an easy thing to outsmart the fabric of time itself." Mr. Fiero leaned forward. "But we have to try. We cannot let him keep the Keystone. If he controls time, he controls everything. Space, history, our very existence." Napoleon's eyes glimmered with a strange, calculating light. "Then we will need more than wits to outwit Father Time. But I've always believed in the power of alliances. Together, perhaps we can change our fates." Lady Jane smiled slyly. "So, you're in?" Napoleon gave a slight chuckle. "In? I've never been out." The three unlikely allies, Mr. Fiero, Lady Jane Farmer, and Napoleon Bonaparte, formed a tenuous alliance, united in their shared goal to retrieve the Keystone device and free themselves from Father Time's grip. They had no time to waste. The island was a prison, but together they might just have the cunning and courage to escape and protect the flow of time from the sinister hands of Father Time. The true battle for the future had only just begun. The year was 1819. Humanity had grown complacent in its dominion over Earth, secure in the belief that it was alone in the universe. But that illusion was shattered one fateful morning in April when the skies above the planet filled with streaks of fire. They came from the direction of Proxima Centauri, a neighboring star system, and their arrival marked the beginning of an era no one could have foreseen. The last time we heard from Mr. Fiero the Time Traveler and his loyal sidekick, Lady Jane Farmer, they were stranded in exile on the remote island of St. Helena. Their exile, decreed by Father Time himself, was punishment for their attempts to manipulate the timeline during humanity's darkest hour. Sharing their exile was none other than Napoleon Bonaparte, who had long been plotting his own escape from the island. The trio quickly formed an unlikely alliance, pooling their skills and knowledge to devise a plan to escape not just the island but the grip of Father Time himself. Napoleon's cunning mind and leadership skills complemented Mr. Fiero's temporal knowledge and Lady Jane's resourcefulness. Together, they began crafting a daring scheme to lure Father Time to the island and seize his minute hand device, a mystical artifact nearly as powerful as the Keystone device. The minute hand controlled the flow of time and could potentially amplify the Keystone's capabilities. Napoleon proposed a series of signals and distractions to make it appear as though the trio were tampering with the timeline. Their carefully orchestrated ruse worked, and Father Time, furious at their defiance, appeared on the island in a storm of temporal energy. In the ensuing confrontation, Napoleon's strategic brilliance came to the forefront. While he engaged Father Time in a battle of wits and ego, Mr. Fiero and Lady Jane worked together to outmaneuver the cosmic entity. Using the Keystone device, they created a temporal distortion, momentarily disorienting Father Time. Lady Jane seized the opportunity to snatch the minute hand device from Father Time's grasp. With both artifacts in hand, the trio activated the Keystone device, opening a portal off the island. As they stepped through, they left Father Time stranded, his powers diminished without the minute hand. The portal deposited Mr. Fiero, Lady Jane, and Napoleon in the heart of Paris, far from the reach of Father Time. While the duo vowed to use the minute hand responsibly, Napoleon's ambitions took a darker turn. Empowered by his new prisoner, Father Time, Napoleon began to weave plans to rewrite history in his favor. Mr. Fiero and Lady Jane knew their journey was far from over. With the Keystone device and the minute hand in their possession, they had the tools to protect the timeline, but also the burden of ensuring it remained intact. As they vanished into the folds of time, they carried with them the hope of humanity's survival and the promise of adventure yet to come. As Earth healed from the invasion and humanity turned its gaze to the stars, the legend of Mr. Fiero, Lady Jane Farmer, and their daring escape from exile grew. Their tale became a beacon of resilience, ingenuity, and the indomitable spirit of adventure. And somewhere in the shadows of time, Napoleon Bonaparte plotted his next move, his ambitions as eternal as the cosmos itself.